Hi, welcome back to the Masculine Energy Motivation channel. I know it's been a while. This is a space for you guys to actually choose to lead with strength, purpose, and presence. So today I want to speak about a couple things. The part of you that feels the tension between staying comfortable and rising into the man that you're meant to be. So what we're going to unpack today may actually challenge how you've been taught to show up in relationships. And to be honest, it may not be what you want to hear, but if you let it in, it will unlock something absolutely powerful in you. The kind of power that isn't loud, but instead it's steady, it's certain, and hopefully unshakable. That's the goal. This is about learning how to hold your ground, right? You want to lead with love and return to your purpose, not to impress anyone, but because it's who you truly are. You don't have to have it all figured out, but you do have to keep showing up. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and begin. I'm glad you're here, and I'm sorry that I've been gone for so long. But have you ever come home after a long day, and she's already emotional, frustrated, teary, or just in a bad mood? And you're sitting there thinking, man, again, I thought we were good. Didn't I fix this already? Here's the hard truth. She's not supposed to get easier. You're supposed to get stronger. Her emotions are not glitches. They're actually part of her design, wired through thousands of years of neurological, relational, and hormonal differences between masculine and feminine energy. And if you understand that, you stop seeing her emotions as too much, and you actually start seeing it as the invitation that it really is. So let's break it down psychologically. So in relationships, women are biologically and psychologically more attuned to emotional nuances. According to a study of the Journal of Neuroscience, women have more mirror neurons activity, which means that they're more sensitive to those emotions, right? Sorry, I'm getting interrupted here. On top of that, oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, this surges when they feel emotionally connected, but it plummets when they don't feel seen, heard, or even understood. So when she brings something up, right, that you thought was resolved, it's not because she's trying to nag, it's because something emotionally hasn't landed or integrated yet. Let's make this practical. Let's say you're in a relationship. You've been showing up, you've been working hard, being consistent, hats off to you. And then all of a sudden, she tells you, I just don't feel like you're really here with me anymore. Your brain is going to automatically say, wait, what? I'm literally doing everything I can. But here's what's happening. She's not tracking your checklist. She's tracking your presence, your depth, your attunement. This aligns with what Dr. John Gottman, one of the most respected relationship psychologists, calls them emotional bids. When your partner reaches out emotionally, the health of your relationship depends on whether you turn toward, turn away, or turn against that bid. So if you meet her emotional storm with calm strength, if you stay when your instinct says to run, that's turning toward. And that builds trust faster than any bouquet of flowers ever could, let me tell you. So another layer. So in revolutionary psychology, men evolved to be problem solvers, while women evolved to be relationship monitors. So when a man hears, I feel like we're distant lately, he's going to instinctively want to fix it. Okay, let's go on a date night. Let me buy something. Let me do something, right? Buy flowers, whatever. But the feminine doesn't want a solution. She wants connection, and connection is built through presence, not performance. So here's the deeper one. When you stop resisting her emotional nature and actually start meeting it with strength and steadiness, you build greater emotional resilience. You also build a deeper intimacy, which is what she's looking for, and also a stronger sense of masculine identity. Us women thrive on that. Another thing to consider is that studies do show that emotionally intelligent men, so those that can actually regulate themselves in the face of their partner's emotions, have longer, more satisfying relationships and greater overall life satisfaction. This isn't softness, it's power under control. So no, she's not supposed to get easier. She's supposed to challenge your emotional stillness to reflect the edges of your presence. So to invite you to grow beyond your own ego, right? And when to meet her like a grounded man with calm, clarity, and a spine of steel, she will relax into your leadership. Not because you said the perfect things, but because you stayed when it actually mattered. That's the kind of man the world needs more of. Not reactive, not avoidant, but rooted, resilient, real. Like, if she's your number one, you've already lost her kind of thing, right? So here's the uncomfortable truth. If you've made her the center of your world, she's already starting to pull away. And not because she doesn't care, but because deep down, she doesn't want to be your mission. She wants to join you on it. She wants to feel your direction, your conviction, your devotion of something greater than just us, right? So let's break this down with a scenario. So let's say you meet a woman who lights your soul on fire. She's beautiful, she's soft, nurturing, fun. You're all in. And before long, the energy shifts. Your gym habits get, sideways, your work ethic slips, your spiritual life even goes quiet, and suddenly you're canceling your plans with your boys, skipping the things that used to light you up, all in the name of being a good boyfriend, right? That sounds noble. I get it. But to her, it starts to feel heavy, also smothering, because what made you attractive to her in the first place was your fire, your mission, right? When she feels that she doesn't trust you in your leadership capabilities, basically. So here's what the research says. Relationship psychologist Dr. Esther Perel talks about how desire dies in captivity. When a man loses himself in a woman, she doesn't feel chosen. She feels responsible for his happiness. And that's not sexy, it's pressure. Same thing the Gottman Institute found, that when men abandon their passions and self-leadership to keep the peace, the relationship loses polarity. That masculine-feminine tension, so to speak, gone. Now, imagine the same relationship, but with a different man. Same love, same chemistry, but this time he still hits the gym. He still builds his business. He's still praying, meditating, leading, all of that. And instead of orbiting around her, he invites her to orbit with him, not as a task, but as a teammate. When she feels his eyes fixed on a higher purpose, when she sees that she's loved but not idolized, that's when she softens and she trusts you and she feels relaxed in her feminine. Now, another scenario. Let's say you're out with her and she's upset because you didn't answer a text for a couple hours. You were knee deep in work, locked in, flowing. You feel the pull. Should I have dropped everything to text her back? No. Your grounded masculine says, I see you're upset and I care, but when I'm in the middle of something important, I stay focused. I'll always come back to you, babe, but I won't abandon my mission to manage your emotions in that moment. You're not being cold, you're being clear. And a woman will test that clarity, not to break it, but to feel its depth. This is where masculine essence shines. Staying mission-driven when your emotions want to please. Holding your center when her energy wants to pull you off of it, for example, right? Now, let's talk about loving her deeply, but not losing yourself in her, right? Because the minute she becomes your entire world, she starts to feel like the world is on her shoulders. And that's not what the feminine wants, right? She doesn't want to be worshipped. She wants to feel that your worship of purpose, right? And know that she's safe beside it. Here's what you gain when you live this truth. Unshakable respect when you live this truth. A deeper, more passionate connection. A powerful sense of identity in yourself, whether she stays or not your business. And peace, because you're not chasing love, you're channeling it. There's a big difference. Purpose creates polarity. Polarity creates passion, and passion creates trust. Okay? So remember, love her fully, hold her often, but never put her above your purpose, because she doesn't want to be your number one. She wants to be beside a man who already knows who his number one is. All right? Yourself, God first, yourself, and then whoever else you deem important in your life. Although, also, you weren't born to chase her. There's a reason why you feel unsettled when you're not working towards something bigger than yourself. Think of it like this. It's because as a man, you're built to move toward mission. And when you abandon that mission for a woman, or even worse, for comfort, you lose her and you lose you. Let me paint a picture. Let's say you get into a relationship. She's amazing, sweet, beautiful, funny, everything you've been looking for. And slowly, without realizing it, you start to shift your focus. Your gym routine, slipping. Your spiritual practices, like I said earlier, you completely forgot about them. Your long-term vision, it's starting to get a little blurry because now you've made her the goal. Your attention, your energy, your motivation, it all flows towards making her happy. And at first, she's flattered, she's soft, she feels special, but over time, that admiration can quickly turn into quiet disappointment because the man she was drawn to, driven, focused, lit up by something greater than himself or the relationship, is starting to fade. Psychologically speaking, this is backed by studies on self-determination theory, which show that men need autonomy, competence, and purpose to feel fulfilled. There's a doctor by the name of Robert Glover, author of No More Mr. Nice Guy. He explains that the emotional validation from women and personal purpose, they unconsciously become used to that, and eventually the woman becomes unattractive. Or, she starts to feel like he's unattractive, right? So let's flip it and let's get into a scenario so you understand it a little bit better. Let's say you're in a relationship, she wants more of your time. She feels disconnected, but you're knee-deep building your business, studying for a certification, or pursuing something meaningful to you. She says you're so focused on everything but me, and in that moment, you have two choices. Collapse, apologize, shrink yourself, and rearrange your entire life to make her feel secure. Or you stay grounded and you say, I love you and I hear you, but I have to follow this through. It's not about choosing you or this. It's about honoring what makes me the man you fell for in the first place. That's not a selfish move. That's masculinity in its essence, right? Because masculine energy is directional. It needs a target. A woman doesn't want to be your target. She wants to feel that you have won and that she gets to walk beside you as you pursue that mission, whatever, or target. There's a line actually from, I believe it's called The Way of the Superior Man, that hits hard. If a man prioritizes comfort or the approval of his woman or some other, third party over his true purpose, he'll become resentful and she'll lose trust in his leadership. You can't fake this. She'll feel it. And more importantly, you're going to feel it. Now, here's why it benefits, even beyond the relationship. You reclaim your identity. You operate with clarity and conviction. And you attract respect, not just from her, but from other men and other, third parties. You wake up each day with direction instead of confusion. And when she watches you live that way, on fire, disciplined, consistent, she's going to feel more drawn to you than when you were trying to win her over. So, if you're in that place right now where you're not sure if you're losing yourself or losing her, I want you to ask this. What was I chasing before I met her? What did God plant in me that I've been too distracted to water? Because you weren't born to chase her. You were born to chase your calling. And when you do, you won't just become a better man. You'll become the kind of man who naturally leads, attracts, and inspires. Not through force, but through purpose. Okay? Now, we're going to get into another topic, shifting gears just a little bit to help kind of round all this out. So she doesn't want you to fix her. She wants you to feel her. Let's get into it. Have you ever been in a situation where she's upset, venting, spiraling a little, and your brain kicks into gear like, okay, cool, I can solve this. Let's find the root issue, offer a solution, and move on. And the more logical you get, the more upset she gets. Does that sound familiar? All right, well, welcome to the classroom of the feminine. That's the bottom line. So here's the thing most men don't realize. Sorry if my chair is creaking, but she's not looking for a diagnosis. She's looking for your presence. She doesn't want you to analyze her. She wants you to attune to her. Now let's get into a common scenario. So she comes home from work venting about her boss. He never listens to me. I feel invisible. No one cares what I think, so on and so forth. She's telling you the whole spiel about what happened. Now, your masculine brain says, let me help her find clarity. So you offer, well, have you tried talking to HR or setting clear boundaries? You think you're being helpful, but now she's quiet, colder, maybe even more upset because you did just the one thing she didn't need. You bypassed her emotion and tried to solve her problem like it was a spreadsheet, right? So another psychologist, Dr. John Gray, author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, talks about this all the time. When a man listens with the intent to fix, the woman feels unseen. But when he listens with the intent to understand, she feels loved. Even Gottman Institute research shows that emotional validation, not solutions, is what builds connection and trust in intimate relationships. So when she's in her emotional storm and you try to fix it with logic, it doesn't land. because it's the wrong tool for the job. So what's the right tool? Stillness, presence, non-reactivity. It's you sitting there, not flinching, not rushing, not interrupting, just feeling her through the emotion. I want you to try this. Next time she's venting, I want you to say, that sounds like it really hit you hard. I'm here with you, babe. Tell me more. No judgment, no advice, just being the calm in her storm. Now, let's get into a deeper scenario to drive this home a little bit better. Let's say she's emotional about you. Maybe you forget something, missed a cue, or didn't check in the way she hoped. Now she's crying and you're confused because your intentions were good. You want to say, but I didn't mean it that way. Or worse, you're being too sensitive. Hopefully you don't say that, but this is the moment that defines a superior man, right? You pause, you breathe, and you say, I can see how that really impacted you. I want to understand. I'm not going anywhere, babe. Here's the thing, that's not weakness. That's emotional strength, the kind women crave but rarely get to experience. If you have these characteristics and traits, I'm telling you, you are a unique man, all right? Now, let's get into how this benefits, right? So you're going to stop feeling like you're falling or failing or whatever emotionally, right? You're going to build those deeper intimacy and trust connections that you want. You'll become the man of her life who doesn't try to control. He just holds space for her emotions. And most importantly, you'll be more grounded in your true masculine essence because real masculine energy doesn't fix feelings. It witnesses them. And in that witnessing, heals far more than logic ever could. All right? So next time she spirals, rants, or cries, don't go into therapist mode. Don't go into coach mode. Don't go into shutdown mode either. Definitely don't do that. Just go into presence mode because she doesn't want you to fix her. She wants you to feel her, okay? So let's say when she's complaining, she's not really fighting you, right? She's checking in if you're still fighting for her. So let's talk about one of the most misunderstood parts of the masculine-feminine dynamic, right? Her complaint is almost never about the thing that she's actually complaining about. Sounds crazy, right? Not really. But here's the truth. When she complains, she's not fighting you. She's checking if you're still fighting for her. So here's a real world scenario. So let's say you're sitting on the couch after a long day. She walks in and says, you never help out around here. I feel like I do everything myself. Now your logical brain immediately scans for facts. You're like, wait, I just did the dishes yesterday. I vacuumed this morning. What is she even talking about? And you might say, well, that's not true, right? I've been helping. What about everything I just did today? But instead of calming things down, you actually now see her as even more upset, right? But why? Because you heard her words, but you missed her heart. Here's what's really happening. She's feeling disconnected. She's feeling unseen. She's feeling unsure if you're with her or just in the room, like a roommate. And instead of saying, I'm scared that we're drifting, she says, you never help me. Her complaint, content free. She's not reporting facts. She's testing the ground. Sorry, I'm getting interrupted here. That you're standing on. So according to Dr. Sue Johnson, the creator of emotionally focused therapy, almost all arguments in intimate relationships are protests of disconnection, not attacks. What does that mean? She's not coming for your head. She's reaching for your heart. Think of it that way. And if you defend, you argue, or try to win the point, you fail the test. But if you pause and you breathe and you say, babe, I hear you. You're not feeling supported right now. Let's talk about it. Boom. Test passed. She softens, not because you fixed anything, but because you stayed. All right. I believe you guys get that one. But let's get into another example. Let's say that she says, you never listen to me. Now, if you're not grounded, your ego takes the bait. You go, that's not fair. I listen all the time. I was literally just listening last night while you talked about your work for 40 minutes. But the grounded man, he hears beneath the complaint. He knows she's not keeping score. She's scanning for emotional safety. So he breathes, looks her in the eye, and says, you're right. I haven't been as present lately. I want to hear you. What's been on your heart, babe? That right there, masculine integrity, unshaken, untriggered, present. Now, why does this all matter? You see, because when you stop reacting to her words and start responding to her heart, she relaxes into your leadership. Trust gets built instead of tension. you stop taking her emotion personally and you actually start meeting it purposefully, you also grow into a man who can handle the feminine, not flinch from it. That's power. That's real masculine power. The feminine doesn't test you because she wants you to fail. She tests you because she wants to feel your truth. She wants to know, are you still here? Are you still with me? Are you still fighting for us? Or have you checked out? So, next time she complains, don't take the bait. Don't argue the facts. Don't shut down. Don't determine if they are facts or not. Just listen for the real question underneath it all. Can I still trust you to lead me through this? And then lead, not with words, with presence, with patience and strength. Because when she complains, she's not fighting you. She's checking if you're still fighting for her. All right? So I want us to go ahead and take a deep breath and look at what you guys actually just walked through. I just shared a lot with you guys here, something to ingest, digest, share it with other men. You learned how to hear beneath her words and lead with your presence, not your ego. You learned how to hold your center when she's emotional, knowing her storm isn't a threat, it's a test of your steadiness. You were reminded that your purpose must come first, not because she doesn't matter, but because you do. And whether anyone's told you this recently or not, I see the man that you're becoming, the man who doesn't run from emotion, the man who doesn't abandon his truth, the man who shows up even when it's hard. You're watching this video, aren't you? You're trying to become a better version of yourself. And that kind of man, he's magnetic, he's trusted, and he's deeply needed, let me tell you, in this broken world. So keep going, keep leading, keep anchoring back into that calm, grounded power inside you. She's not supposed to get easier. You're supposed to get stronger. And you are. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining me. I apologize for not being here for a while. Hopefully you guys can join me on the next session where I will be getting into more depth of the various masculine traits and how to handle certain scenarios and situations, and also backed by research. I don't ever go on my channel and give you guys information just based off of my own personal opinion. I go off of studies and psychological facts that are presented and have been studied for quite some time, for many years. So as I get this information, I will share it over to you guys, but stay present and remember to always live the life you love and love the life you live. Take care and God bless.